there's this hydroxychloroquine
I don't really know much about
debate going on. So in America, there was those doctors. Did you see that video with those doctors? They call themselves America's Frontline Doctors, and they came out and did this press conference, I think, in front of a hospital, or in front of like a government building. It might have been actually, all dressed in their white, white coats, and saying how they've observed that hydroxychloroquine is effective in treating this COVID-19. Now that's this drug that Donald Trump was going on about, even though he doesn't know what the hell he was talking about, but he was going on about it, a month or two back, or maybe more. Anyway, these doctors are saying that it's effective and should be widely used because this hydroxychloroquine is used for treating people with autoimmune deficiencies.
It's an anti-malaria drug.
Disease and malaria, yes. They're the two main things that it's used for. However, they've done some studies, and some studies have shown that it's effective and other studies have shown that it's not effective. And some of the studies that have been quoted are only like in vitro studies, which means basically in a petri dish, right? Not in humans. So that's not conclusive. And other study that was for SARS, right? Mm-hmm. For the back in 2005, it was shown to be effective to treat SARS in a petri dish. Basically, that kind of wipes out that argument. Mm. And also, there's been I think it was in June this year, a study also showed that it was effective. However, the study was biased because it wasn't a randomized sample of people, and it wasn't a double-blind study. Right. So this for doing scientific studies, they are two key characteristics that you need. Right, random samples of people.
Yeah.
And also double blind, meaning the people receiving the treatment don't know whether they're getting
the placebo.
Yes, the hydrochloroquine or the placebo, and the people giving the dosage don't know whether they're giving the hydrochloroquine medicine or the placebo, right? So that's what double blind means. My wife's a pharmacist, so she's been busy explaining this stuff to me, and it's very interesting. And also in this recent study this year, they left out a important subset of people that they knew were going to die regardless. Okay, so that were in the last rows type of thing. So that just skews your results as well, because if it's a proper random sample, you need to include all and every subset of people, right, to be real. So that can't be medically proven. But everyone in the Twitter sphere and conspiracy nut jobs claiming that this hydrochloroquine has been banned from usage, which is bullshit. Also, it hasn't actually been banned because it still needs to be used for autoimmune, treatment, and not that there's much malaria around, but for those.
Well, not in Australia.
Yeah, it's been banned from being prescribed for COVID. That's what it's been banned for. Okay, it hasn't been banned willy-nilly across the board. It needs to be absolutely 100% proven to be effective against COVID-19, and it's not. There's just been some cases where it's been effective, but also a number of studies and cases where it has not been effective. So it can't be proven. Now, the thing is, if you just start going to, prescribe it regardless, then you're going to see, because it's a pandemic, you're going to see I suppose all those stocks just get used up. Okay. Yep. And then people who need it for those other illnesses, autoimmune illnesses and things like that, what are you going to do with them? You're just going to allow them to go without? No. So this is what these conspiracy nut jobs don't understand. And you've got all these people in media and on the left and right of politics and political commentary and just everyday average plebs. You read Twitter and it's just, my God, it's a cesspit.
Oh, I've gone off Twitter. It's actually, to be honest with you, I've really gone down on all my social media and I feel better for it.
I mentioned that one because that's where the majority of this commentary, on social media is about this hydroxychloroquine. So yes, it's very interesting when you actually understand it, and then obviously having someone in a medical profession explain the way this works, and she's going to listen to this and get a big head. But yeah, it is really interesting because I would have previously been like, well, if it doesn't actually hurt you, why not just give it a go? But it's also got to be tested against people that have other medical prescriptions, and if there's effects, because they're taking, such and such other drug, and then you introduce this hydroxychloroquine. All these studies need to be done, and it all needs to be studied to conclusion, and needs to be able to be peer reviewed and replicated. That's the thing. It needs to be replicated as well. They can't do that. It hasn't been done yet. It's too soon. This new coronavirus comes along, COVID-19. You can't expect that within 6 months' time they're going to come up with a treatment or even a vaccine. But we're just talking about the treatment here. You can't expect that in only 6 or so months' time they're going to come up with a conclusive treatment. It can take years, right?
Absolutely.
When a new illness or virus is introduced, it takes years. Like all these other coronaviruses that have been around before, SARS and swine flu, they still exist. They haven't been wiped out, right? But over time and years, they've I suppose come up with effective treatments. This is what it's going to take for COVID-19 as well, right? Over years, it's going to diminish in its prevalence. But for the time being, it's here and it's with us, and we've got to learn how to live with it.